No one wanted this starship, until a human mechanic made it the ultimate galactic weapon. The great starship auction hall was alive with sounds of chatter, holographic displays, and the occasional clank of machinery. Ships of all shapes and sizes hovered above the ground. Some were sleek, shining vessels capable of crossing galaxies in days. Others were ancient relics, their metal scratched and rusty, forgotten by time. Among the crowd of buyers from dozens of alien species, a single ship stood out, not because it was magnificent, but because it looked utterly useless. It was a massive cruiser, its hull scarred with decades of neglect. Some panels were missing, and a faint blue glow pulsed weakly from the engines. A few aliens whispered to each other, calling it a junk heap or a relic of failure. No one approached it, except for one human. Elias Trent walked slowly toward the ship, his boots clicking against the polished metal floor. Unlike most humans, Elias was not tall or heavily built. He had the quiet, confident look of someone who understood machines better than most people understood words. His eyes scanned the ship carefully, noting details that others ignored: the alignment of panels, the shape of the conduits, the faint hum from the core. "Interesting," he muttered to himself, running a gloved hand along the hull. "They see rust. I see potential." Most of the crowd didn't notice him. Humans were rare in these parts of the galaxy, and few aliens paid them any mind. But Elias didn't care about their opinions. To him, every machine had a story, and he could read it. This ship, abandoned for decades, had a story that was just waiting to be told. The auctioneer's voice boomed across the hall, announcing the next batch of ships. Elias didn't raise his hand. He wasn't interested in the flashy, expensive ships. His attention stayed on the cruiser, the junk heap the aliens all ignored. Minutes turned into hours. The ship went unbought. Finally, Elias stepped forward. "I'll take it," he said. His voice was quiet, but clear. The auctioneer blinked. "You want this one? The old, damaged cruiser?" "Yes," Elias replied. "It has more life in it than anyone else thinks." The aliens around him chuckled, some snickering openly. "A human buying that?" one of them said. "You will regret it." Elias ignored them. To him, the ship wasn't just metal and wires. It was potential. It was a puzzle that no one else cared to solve, and humans, as he liked to believe, had a knack for solving impossible puzzles. After some paperwork and credits exchanged hands, the ship was officially his. It hung silently above the ground, waiting for him to breathe life into it. That evening, Elias boarded the cruiser for the first time. The interior smelled of dust and old metal. Lights flickered weakly in the corridors, and the hum of dormant engines was almost inaudible. The ship felt like it had been sleeping for a long, long time. Elias stepped into the central hub, where the main control panels lay buried under decades of neglect. He ran his hands over the surfaces, brushing away dirt and grime. All sparks danced as he connected a portable power unit to the ship's core. Slowly, systems began to hum, lights flickering as circuits woke up. "This is going to take time," Elias said, almost to himself. But he smiled. That smile carried confidence, the kind of confidence that only comes from knowing you are capable of more than anyone else believes. He explored the ship, room by room. Crew quarters were empty, long since abandoned. Storage bays contained broken tools and old supplies. In the science labs, glass vials were shattered and equipment lay in disarray. Yet beneath the decay, he could sense the ship's hidden potential. There were traces of advanced technology far beyond what the galaxy currently used. Some of it was alien, some of it unfamiliar even to him. "What secrets are you hiding?" he asked quietly. Hours passed, and Elias did not rest. He checked the engine systems, repairing circuits, rerouting power, and replacing broken conduits with makeshift but functional human solutions. He was careful, thoughtful, and methodical. Other species might have looked for shortcuts or brute force methods. Elias worked differently. He observed, understood, and adapted. Slowly, The ship began to respond. Lights glowed steadily. Panels displayed readings. A soft hum filled the corridors, like the heartbeat of a creature waking after a long slumber. Then he found something extraordinary, a dormant AI. The interface flickered to life as he connected a diagnostic probe. A holographic figure appeared, its form shifting like liquid light. "Who is this?" Elias whispered. "I am the core intelligence of this ship," the AI replied in a melodic, calm voice. "I have been dormant for centuries. You are the first human to awaken me." Elias raised an eyebrow. "Human? That's new. Most others just ignored this ship." "Yes," the AI said. "They saw decay. They saw rust. They did not see potential." Elias smiled. "Exactly. Potential is what I see." The AI studied him for a moment. "You approach differently. Your methods are not like the others. You do not demand. You observe. You adapt. That is rare." Elias chuckled softly. "Rare doesn't mean impossible. Trust me, old friend. We're going to make something incredible together." The days that followed were a blur of work. Elias spent hours analyzing ship systems, repairing circuits, and conversing with the AI. He discovered that the ship's design was unique, a modular system capable of adapting to threats and challenges. Most alien engineers had failed to understand it. Humans, however, could think creatively and find solutions others couldn't. The AI, which he affectionately named Aurora, began to respond to Elias's ideas. Together, they ran simulations, tested energy systems, and mapped the ship's hidden capabilities. Every day, Elias found new potential. The ship could manipulate energy, adjust shields, and even adapt its structure to environmental challenges. If fully awakened, it could become the most capable ship in the galaxy, not just for battle, but for exploration, protection, and innovation. But Elias knew patience was key. He didn't rush. The ship had been abandoned for decades. Awakening it fully would take time. Every small success felt like a victory. Every challenge was an opportunity to think differently. And every time the AI expressed hesitation, Elias encouraged it, proving that humans could be trusted to unlock potential rather than just exploit it. One evening, as the two stood in the central hub, Aurora spoke again. "Human Elias, I sense that you do not wish to use me for conquest," the AI said. "Your intentions are unusual." Elias nodded. "I want to make the ship the best it can be. Not to destroy, but to create, protect, and explore. I see things others overlook. That's what humans do." Aurora paused. "I will follow your guidance then. Together, perhaps we can achieve what others could not even imagine." Elias placed a hand on the control panel, feeling the hum of energy beneath his palm. "Then let's get started," he said. "This ship has waited long enough. It's time to awaken it." The auction hall, the aliens, the snickers, they all faded into memory. Elias knew the galaxy would notice the ship soon enough, but for now, it was just him, the AI, and the challenge of restoring something the universe had forgotten. Somewhere deep inside the ship, energy coursed through circuits like blood through veins. Systems blinked to life. Lights glowed steadily. The ship was waking, and so was its legend. Elias looked around the corridors, imagining what this ship could become. He didn't just see an old cruiser. He saw a future, a symbol of human ingenuity, creativity, and perseverance. A future where humans could turn the forgotten into the extraordinary. And as the stars outside the hall shimmered, Elias whispered to himself, "No one wanted this ship, but we're going to show them why they were wrong." The cruiser, now officially Elias Trends, rested quietly in the docking bay, its massive hull bathed in the soft glow of the Starship yard's lights. To anyone else, it might have seemed like nothing more than a relic, a machine left to rot in time. But inside, the ship was stirring. Circuits hummed faintly, panels flickered with information, and deep within, the dormant core intelligence, Aurora, was slowly awakening. Elias stood at the central hub, eyes scanning the control panels, hands moving with precise, deliberate movements. For days, he had been reconnecting systems, replacing damaged conduits, and rewiring circuits with human ingenuity. Every system he touched seemed to respond to his presence. The AI, Aurora, now flickered with increasing brightness, its holographic form becoming sharper, more expressive. "You're progressing faster than I expected," Aurora said, her voice calm but curious. "Most species cannot even make the primary core operational without causing permanent damage." Elias chuckled softly. "I don't rush things. You wake slowly, I fix carefully. That's how humans solve problems." Aurora studied him silently, her holographic eyes glowing softly. "I do not understand how humans think. You approach systems not with logic alone, but with something else? Creativity?" "Exactly," Elias said. "Logic tells you what a system can do. Creativity tells you what it could do if you push it further." Elias began exploring the ship's hidden compartments. Many of the storage bays contained broken equipment, outdated tools, and mysterious devices no alien buyer could identify. Most aliens had ignored them completely, deeming them worthless. But Elias saw potential in everything. One storage bay caught his attention. The walls were lined with panels etched in alien script, pulsing faintly as if waiting for someone to read them. Elias knelt down, brushing away dust and debris. He carefully ran a human scanning tool over the panels. "Interesting," he muttered. "These aren't just labels. They're instructions. A blueprint for something the original builders never expected anyone to activate." Aurora's holographic form tilted her head. "You're accessing restricted protocols. Humans rarely attempt this. It is unorthodox." "That's my specialty," Elias replied with a grin. "Unorthodox is just another word for possible." With meticulous care, he followed the instructions embedded in the alien script. The ship seemed to respond almost instinctively to his touch. Energy flowed differently through the conduits. Systems that had remained dormant for centuries came to life, and soft lights blinked rhythmically throughout the corridors. It was as if the ship itself recognized that someone capable had finally arrived. Over the next few days, Elias and Aurora worked together in perfect harmony. He would analyze a system, she would suggest connections, and together they would awaken hidden features. Some were simple at first, a more efficient power flow here, a shield calibration there. But then came the more advanced systems, adaptive energy modulation, environmental sensing modules, and the ship's experimental modular defense system. "Human," Aurora said one evening, her voice echoing softly in the central hub. "I am detecting a configuration anomaly in the primary core. It is dangerous if mismanaged." Elias frowned, leaning over the console. "Dangerous how? If handled incorrectly, the ship could enter a dormant state permanently, or worse, lock systems beyond recovery," Aurora explained. Elias paused. He knew the risks. Every discovery had its challenges. Every innovation required careful attention. But he also knew humans had something most species lacked, a willingness to take calculated risks for long-term gain. "I understand," he said finally. "But if we don't try, we'll never know what this ship can do. Let's proceed carefully." Step by step, Elias activated the modular defense system. To the outside eye, it looked like nothing more than a series of dormant panels and tubes. But as he worked, the ship's internal sensors began to adapt. Lights inside corridors changed color depending on energy flow. Power distribution shifted automatically. The AI's holographic displays updated in real time, showing complex calculations of potential energy patterns. Aurora's voice became more animated. "This is incredible. No alien species has attempted this combination before. You think differently." "Thanks," Elias said with a grin. "That's humans for you." For the first time since awakening, the cruiser seemed alive. It moved slightly in the docking bay, not with engines, but as if testing its balance. Panels that had been dormant for centuries glowed with soft energy pulses. The ship hummed, a deep, steady sound, like the heartbeat of a living organism. Elias ran simulations, feeding energy through the ship's systems in controlled bursts. He watched Aurora's readings, noting the ship's responses. Every time he tried something new, the ship adapted. It was learning, responding to his human ingenuity. No alien engineers had ever managed this. One afternoon, Elias discovered another hidden feature: a network of environmental manipulation modules. These could control atmospheric conditions, energy fields, even minor gravitational adjustments. The potential applications were enormous, not just for defense, but for exploration and rescue missions. "Human Elias," Aurora said, her tone almost reverent, "you are unlocking capabilities I never imagined possible. This ship, it can do more than any galactic authority dreamed. You have brought it to life." Elias paused, looking around the central hub. "We're only just getting started. This ship is like a puzzle. And I love puzzles." As the days passed, Elias's work gained subtle attention. A few alien engineers observed from a distance, whispering among themselves. "The human. He understands the ship in ways we cannot," one said. "It's not just mechanics. It's creativity." Others scoffed. "Humans are fragile. This ship will never function properly under them." Elias ignored the skeptics. He was used to that. Most of the galaxy doubted humans, thinking they were weaker or too simple to handle advanced technology. But he knew differently. Humans had an instinct for solutions others could not see. They could adapt, improvise, and innovate. One evening, after another long day of repairs and adjustments, Elias stood in the ship's observation deck, looking out at the galaxy. Stars stretched endlessly in every direction, their light reflecting softly on the glass walls. Aurora's holographic form appeared beside him. "You seem contemplative," she said. "I'm thinking," Elias replied. "This ship is powerful, yes. But it's not just about power. It's about understanding it, controlling it, using it wisely. That's what humans do. We don't just seek strength, we seek balance." Aurora was silent for a moment. "You are different from other beings I have encountered. Most species see systems as tools or weapons. You see them as partners." "That's right," Elias said. "We see potential, and we bring it to life." As night fell across the docking bay, the ship's hum grew stronger, more confident. The AI had grown in awareness, its responses sharper and faster. The modules Elias had activated were fully online. Energy flowed through circuits like rivers, shields adjusted automatically, and the ship's systems seemed to anticipate his next move. It was no longer just a derelict cruiser. It was alive. It was learning. It was ready. Then a new challenge appeared. The sensors detected an anomaly in a nearby star system, a cosmic storm moving unpredictably toward several inhabited planets. The storm was dangerous, a swirling mass of energy capable of destroying ships and settlements in its path. Most galactic authorities panicked. Fleets scrambled trying to intercept it, but their rigid technology could not respond fast enough to the storm's changing patterns. Aurora turned to Elias. "Human, we may have an opportunity. Your abilities and my systems, together we may be able to intervene. But this will test every system we have activated so far." Elias's eyes lit up. "Now you're talking. Let's see what this ship can really do." He began running simulations, calculating energy flows, shield adjustments, and gravitational compensations. The ship responded instantly, adapting to each new variable he introduced. Aurora's voice grew more excited, her calculations faster, more precise. Together, human and AI pushed the ship to its limits, awakening its full potential. For the first time in centuries, the once-forgotten cruiser moved with purpose, not as a relic of the past, not as a discarded machine, but as a living, learning, adaptive starship ready to face the challenges the galaxy could not. And Elias smiled, knowing that the real adventure was just beginning. "No one wanted the ship," he whispered. "But together, we're going to show them what it can do." The galaxy was quiet that morning, but the silence carried tension. Sensors aboard Elias's cruiser, now fully awakened, detected an unusual phenomenon in a nearby star system. A massive energy storm was moving unpredictably, twisting and turning through space, like a living entity. Its power could devastate planets and ships alike. The galactic authorities were panicked. Fleets of starships scrambled, trying to calculate its trajectory and contain its force. Yet even the most advanced alien technology struggled to adapt to the storm's constant shifts. Elias stood at the central hub, Aurora's holographic form floating beside him, her light pulsed in synchronization with the ship's new adaptive systems. "Pullman Elias," she said. "The authorities are attempting to intercept the storm, but their calculations are failing." "They lack flexibility. Our abilities may be the only solution." Elias grinned. "Flexibility, creativity, that's human strong suit. Let's get moving." The ship lifted off from the docking bay, gliding smoothly into open space. Its engines purred with newfound life, energy flowing seamlessly through systems. Panels along the hull shimmered, adapting to external conditions. The cruiser had transformed. No longer a forgotten relic, it was now a living, adaptive starship, responding instinctively to Elias's commands. "Initiating storm approach protocols," Aurora said. "We will need to manipulate energy fields, redirect gravitational forces, and stabilize environmental conditions across affected planets. The storm's path is unpredictable, but our adaptability is superior to rigid calculations." Elias's hands danced across the controls, inputting adjustments and observing the ship's reactions. "All right, Aurora," he said. "Let's show them what humans can do." The energy storm loomed ahead, a swirling vortex of blue, purple, and gold. Its sheer scale was breathtaking. Stars within its radius shimmered unnaturally, and radiation rippled through space. Any normal ship approaching would have been shredded instantly. But Elias's cruiser was no normal ship. The first challenge was the storm's gravitational distortions. Massive waves of energy bent space itself, pulling ships toward dangerous zones. Alien fleets hesitated, their rigid autopilot systems unable to adapt quickly. Elias studied the readouts. "Energy modulation ready," Aurora said. "We can counteract gravitational waves, but timing is critical." Elias nodded. "Do it." He activated the ship's adaptive systems. Energy fields rippled outward from the cruiser, creating a protective bubble that stabilized the surrounding space. The ship's hull flexed slightly as it adjusted to the constantly changing forces. Aurora's calculations flowed in real time, predicting the storm's shifts and sending precise commands to the ship's systems. The cruiser glided closer to the storm, weaving through its twisting currents. Other alien ships watched in disbelief as Elias and his ship moved with a fluidity no rigid system could match. Next came the radiation surges. Bolts of energy arced unpredictably, threatening to fry sensors and engines. Alien fleets turned back, unable to cope. But Elias had already prepared. "Activate energy redirection arrays," he commanded. Panels along the cruiser's hull shifted, forming an intricate lattice of conduits. Energy bolts from the storm were absorbed, redirected, and dissipated harmlessly into space. Aurora's voice grew more excited with every successful maneuver. "Human Elias, your improvisation exceeds theoretical limits. The storm cannot harm us in this configuration." Elias smiled, focusing on the next obstacle, the planets within the storm's path. Several small settlements were at risk, their fragile atmospheres unable to withstand the storm's energy. The ship's environmental modules activated, generating protective shields over each planet. Aurora coordinated adjustments in real time, stabilizing pressure, temperature, and energy flux. "This is incredible," Aurora said. "I never anticipated the ship could perform with such precision across multiple locations simultaneously." "Never underestimate humans," Elias replied with a grin. As the cruiser worked, alien observers began to take note. Messages from fleet commanders came through, mixed with astonishment and disbelief. "What is that human doing?" one voice asked. "No ship should be capable of such coordination." Elias ignored them. His focus was on the storm, the planets, and the delicate balance of energy around them. Every action was measured, every adjustment calculated, but guided by the human instinct for creativity and adaptability. The cruiser's systems responded almost as if alive, anticipating his next move. Aurora chimed in. "Human Elias, we can now influence the storm's trajectory. By creating a controlled energy channel, we may divert it away from inhabited worlds entirely." Elias's eyes lit up. "Then let's do it." He began rerouting energy through the ship's main conduits, forming a precise channel of force aimed at the storm. The cruiser's hull vibrated slightly, the hum of its engines resonating through the corridors. Aurora's holographic form flickered with excitement, her calculations flowing faster than ever. The storm responded. Its twisting currents began to stabilize, guided by the energy channel created by Elias's ship. Slowly, it shifted away from the vulnerable planets, its destructive force redirected harmlessly into the void. The alien fleets watched in awe. Where rigid systems failed, a human mind and a living ship succeeded. Communications came through, full of praise and astonishment. "It's incredible," one commander said. "That human and that ship. They've saved entire planets." Elias didn't respond to the praise. He focused on the final task, ensuring the storm could not circle back unexpectedly. Aurora suggested a sequence of adaptive energy pulses to neutralize the storm's chaotic forces completely. Elias implemented them, guiding the ship through a delicate dance of energy manipulation. For several tense hours, the cruiser worked tirelessly, Aurora providing real-time calculations and Elias improvising when unexpected variables arose. Slowly, the storm's energy diminished, its unpredictable arcs calmed. The planets were safe. The galaxy had witnessed a demonstration of ingenuity, skill, and cooperation unlike anything before. When the storm finally dispersed, Elias allowed himself a moment to breathe. The cruiser floated silently in space, systems humming steadily, glowing panels reflecting the starlight. Aurora's holographic form shimmered beside him. "Human Elias," she said, her voice calm but filled with respect. "You have done what no other species could. The storm is neutralized, and the planets are unharmed. You have proven the potential of human ingenuity and adaptability." Elias leaned back, smiling. "We just did what humans always do. Take a problem others avoid, and find a solution they never thought possible." Aurora seemed to consider this. "I now understand why you were chosen to awaken this ship. You are exceptional." Elias chuckled softly. "We make a good team, don't we?" News of the event spread quickly through the galaxy. Reports called the human and the cruiser a miracle. Aliens who had dismissed humans as weak or incapable now sought advice, hoping to understand how one person and one ship could achieve what fleets of starships could not. In the docking bay, Elias received messages from officials, scientists, and curious observers. Invitations to consult, requests to demonstrate technology, and offers of collaboration flooded in. But Elias remained humble. He knew it wasn't just the ship or the AI. It was human ingenuity that had made the difference. He walked through the ship's corridors, now glowing with life and energy. Aurora's systems were fully integrated, responding instinctively to his commands. The once-forgotten cruiser had become a living legend, a symbol of what humans could achieve when they dared to see potential where others saw decay. That night, Elias stood in the observation deck, looking at the star-studded galaxy stretching endlessly before him. Aurora hovered nearby, her form reflecting in the glass. "The galaxy is changing, isn't it?" Elias said quietly. "Yes," Aurora replied. "Humans have shown that creativity, adaptability, and intelligence can achieve what rigid systems cannot. The galaxy will never view your species the same way again." Elias smiled. "We don't just adapt to the galaxy, we push it to be better. That's what humans do." As he gazed at distant stars, Elias knew this was only the beginning. The ship had proven its abilities, the AI had awakened fully, and the galaxy had witnessed the power of human ingenuity. But there were more challenges ahead, more mysteries to explore, more opportunities to help, more ways to make the universe better. The cruiser hummed gently, its systems alive and responsive. Aurora's holographic form shimmered with energy. Together, human and ship were ready to face whatever the galaxy would throw at them next. And Elias smiled, knowing that no matter what happened, humans had already proven something extraordinary, that even the forgotten, discarded, and underestimated could become legends when guided by ingenuity, courage, and creativity. "No one wanted this ship," he whispered. "But now, the galaxy can see its true potential." The galaxy was abuzz with stories of the human and the once-forgotten starship. Across multiple systems, beings of all species spoke in awe of Elias Tren and his living ship. News broadcasts displayed simulations of the cosmic storm being neutralized, while scholars and engineers studied the humans' methods with fascination. For once, humans were not underestimated. They were admired. But for Elias, the attention did not matter. He was not in the galaxy to gain fame. He was here for one reason: to explore, protect, and unlock potential wherever it lay. And his ship, now fully awakened, was more than a tool. It was a partner, a living adaptive entity capable of responding to the galaxy's challenges with precision and creativity. Elias moved through the cruiser's corridors, observing the ship's systems. Lights pulsed gently, energy flowing like blood through veins. Aurora's holographic form glimmered beside him, her presence more vibrant than ever. "Human Elias," she said, her tone calm but filled with subtle pride. "We have proven our capabilities. The galaxy has witnessed the potential of humans working alongside advanced technology. What is your next course of action?" Elias smiled, tapping a control panel. "Next, we explore. We help. We show that potential exists everywhere, sometimes in places the galaxy has forgotten." Aurora's form flickered as she processed his words. "The galaxy will watch closely. Many will seek to test your abilities, to challenge the ship's systems. Are you prepared for that?" Elias leaned back, resting his hands on the console. "I didn't get here by being afraid of challenges. Let them come. We'll solve them." Over the following weeks, the cruiser became a symbol of hope and ingenuity. Planets in need called for assistance, and Elias and Aurora responded with unmatched precision. On one world, a minor gravitational anomaly threatened the local ecosystem. Elias recalibrated the ship's adaptive systems, stabilizing the planet's gravity while using energy pulses to restore natural conditions. Local inhabitants celebrated, offering gifts and thanks, while alien authorities watched in amazement. On another world, a sudden solar flare threatened a nearby settlement. Elias guided the ship to the star, using the adaptive shields to redirect excess energy safely away. Aurora adjusted the ship's modules in real time, forming protective energy channels that safeguarded the entire settlement. Every success strengthened the legend of the human mechanic and his living starship. Despite the praise, Elias never grew arrogant. He treated every challenge with care, understanding, and creativity. He refused to see the cruiser as merely a weapon. Instead, he viewed it as a problem-solving machine, capable of helping civilizations in ways others had not imagined. Aurora had fully integrated with the ship, and together they operated almost as one entity. You handle challenges differently from most species, Aurora observed one evening. You do not seek to dominate or control, yet your impact is greater than fleets of warships. Elias laughed softly. Humans have a knack for seeing solutions others overlook. We use brains more than brute force. And when we combine that with a machine like this, well, things get interesting. The success of Elias and the cruiser inspired other humans in the galaxy. Humans began to gain respect in areas they had previously been dismissed. Scholars studied human problem-solving methods, while engineers sought guidance on innovation and creativity. Aliens who had mocked humanity were now seeking advice, and some even requested training to understand human approaches to technology and adaptation. Elias received messages from the Galactic Council, offering him a position as a technological advisor. He smiled, reading each message carefully. "They want to learn from humans," he said to Aurora. "Well, we've earned that, haven't we?" Aurora's holographic form shimmered. "Indeed, your success has not only awakened this ship, but also awakened the galaxy to human potential." One day, a distress signal came from an uncharted system near the galaxy's edge. A planet, recently discovered, was experiencing environmental instability. The atmosphere fluctuated unpredictably, and local settlements were at risk. Most ships were hesitant to enter the system, fearing unpredictable conditions. Elias, however, saw it as an opportunity. "This is our kind of challenge," he said with determination. "Let's see what humans in this ship can do together." As the cruiser approached the planet, Aurora's sensors activated. "The environmental readings are extreme," she warned. "Atmospheric pressure, magnetic fields, and temperature fluctuations are beyond normal operational ranges." Elias didn't hesitate. "Then we adapt. That's what humans do." The ship extended adaptive modules, forming a protective energy envelope around the planet. Aurora calculated energy flows to stabilize the atmosphere, while Elias adjusted the modules manually, ensuring precision. Slowly, the planet's environment began to stabilize. Winds calmed, temperatures normalized, and the magnetic field returned to balance. The local inhabitants, previously terrified, cheered as the sky cleared. They had never seen such a machine or such ingenuity. For them, Elias and the cruiser were no longer strangers. They were heroes. As weeks turned into months, Elias and the ship continued their work. Word of their successes spread across star systems, inspiring young humans and aliens alike. Other humans, encouraged by Elias's example, began to explore, innovate, and solve problems in ways previously thought impossible. The legend of the human mechanic and his living starship became a symbol of hope, ingenuity, and perseverance. Yet Elias remained humble. For him, the goal was not fame or recognition. It was potential. Everywhere he looked, he saw discarded or forgotten ideas, technologies, and opportunities. And with the cruiser by his side, he knew humans could turn those into something extraordinary. One quiet evening, Elias stood on the observation deck, gazing at a distant nebula. Aurora appeared beside him, her holographic light reflecting softly on the glass. "Human Elias," she said, "you have changed the galaxy's perception of your species. You have proven that creativity, adaptability, and intelligence can achieve what rigid systems cannot. The galaxy will never forget this." Elias smiled, leaning against the railing. "We didn't just prove humans are capable. We proved that anything, even something abandoned or overlooked, can be transformed if someone believes in its potential." Aurora's form flickered with what seemed like admiration. "The galaxy may now seek your guidance in areas we never considered, but I suspect you will continue to do what you always have. See possibilities where others see none." Elias nodded. "Exactly. That's the human way." The cruiser, once abandoned and derided as useless, had become more than a machine. It was a living symbol of ingenuity, capable of adapting to challenges, protecting lives, and inspiring hope. It moved through the galaxy not as a weapon of destruction, but as a beacon of what could be achieved when intelligence, creativity, and courage are combined. Every planet Elias and Aurora visited saw their work. Children gazed up at the sky, dreaming of what they could achieve. Scholars and engineers debated human methods, learning lessons that would shape technology for generations. Aliens began to understand that humans were more than they had assumed: innovators, problem solvers, and creators. One day, as Elias reviewed reports of environmental stabilization and energy redirection projects across several star systems, Aurora spoke quietly. "Human Elias, we have proven one truth. Humans possess a unique ability to unlock potential that no other species can. You see possibilities, and you have the patience, creativity, and determination to make them real." Elias paused, thinking. "We've done something amazing together. But the galaxy is full of forgotten things. Ships, planets, ideas, systems. There's so much left to explore, to fix, to awaken." Aurora's holographic form shimmered with energy. "Then we shall continue. Together we can show the galaxy that even the overlooked and abandoned can become extraordinary." Elias nodded, a determined glint in his eyes. "Exactly. No one wanted this ship until a human showed them what it could really do. And we're just getting started." As the cruiser moved forward, stars stretched endlessly before them. The galaxy, once skeptical of humanity, now watched with fascination. A human mechanic and his living ship had rewritten the rules, not with power alone, but with creativity, intelligence, and vision. The story of Elias Tren and his cruiser would be told for generations. It would inspire humans and aliens alike to look beyond appearances, to find potential where others saw waste, and to approach challenges with ingenuity rather than fear. For Elias, it was never about glory. It was about seeing the possibilities, solving problems, and bringing the extraordinary to life. The ship, once forgotten, was now a living testament to the human spirit. And as the cruiser glided into the stars, Aurora and Elias moved forward, ready to face the unknown, to awaken the overlooked, and to show the galaxy the true power of human ingenuity.
"No one wanted this ship," Elias whispered, "but together we've turned it into a legend."
And the galaxy will never forget it.